from Belair and Cargill. Keep it simple. Don't try to get too complicated. Good God, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Main Event Insider, your #1 WWE hub. Don't forget to subscribe and let's dive in. What was meant to be the proudest moment of Chelsea Green's championship reign turned into a spectacle she never saw coming, and certainly one she'll never forget. On this particular night, every ounce of her confidence, every detail of her extravagant plans, and every spark of her ego collided with a storm she didn't invite, Jade Cargill. From the moment Chelsea strutted into the arena, it was obvious she envisioned a flawless coronation, a moment where the spotlight would burn for her and only her. Yet destiny, as it often does in the world of wrestling, had a much more explosive script in mind. The grand entrance SmackDown opened with Chelsea Green arriving as though she were leading an international festival, waving to the crowd with a smile polished by ambition. She was accompanied by a line of security and assistants, treated more like ceremonial guards than staff, as the entire ringside area glimmered with red, white, and blue. Flags from the United States, Canada, and Mexico stood tall around the ring, symbolizing what Chelsea declared as her dominance over all of North America. She wasn't simply entering the arena. She was presenting herself as the centerpiece of a celebration she had meticulously planned to elevate her own legacy. This wasn't a welcome. It was a self-made parade. The declaration of Chelsea's era. Once inside the ring, Chelsea wasted no time announcing that her second term as the United States Women's Champion was officially underway. In classic Chelsea fashion, she proudly and humorously declared herself both the first and fourth two-time holder of the title, confusing some and amusing many. With a voice full of self-assurance, she proclaimed herself the greatest women's champion in the history of the WWE, of America, and even of the entire continent. It was bravado at its peak. She urged the audience to lift their flags high, raise their voices, and prepare themselves for a massive pyro celebration that she insisted would mark the beginning of her newest reign. Countdown to disaster. Chelsea extended her arms, wearing a smile just wide enough to reflect her confidence, and initiated the countdown for the fireworks she ordered to honor herself. 3, 2, 1, she shouted, anticipating an eruption of color and thunder above her head. But just as she was about to trigger the spectacle, her moment of triumph began to unravel. Instead of fireworks, the thunderous boom that filled the arena was something far more powerful: Jade Cargill's entrance music. The sound hit like an earthquake, and the crowd immediately came alive, roaring with anticipation. Chelsea's eyes widened, the celebration froze mid-breath, and the real chaos began. The confrontation begins. Jade Cargill emerged onto the stage not merely as a challenger, but as an unstoppable force with purpose carved into every step she took. She stormed down the ramp with an intensity that made it clear she wasn't there to talk or negotiate. Sliding into the ring with the speed and precision of a missile, she instantly locked onto Alba Fyre, who had been standing guard near Chelsea. With a single devastating big boot, Jade knocked Alba to the canvas. The message was unmistakable. Jade was done waiting for an invitation. Panic and Impact Chelsea, who had been full of swagger just moments before, immediately shifted into a frantic scramble, desperately looking for an exit. But she had no time to run. Jade moved with calculated swiftness, grabbing Chelsea before she could escape. The crowd erupted, sensing what was coming. In one explosive motion, Jade lifted Chelsea and delivered her signature move, a crushing impact that sent Chelsea collapsing into the mat. Her celebration shattered both figuratively and literally. The ring that had moments earlier been a stage for Chelsea's triumph had become the scene of her downfall. The real spotlight shifts. As Chelsea lay stunned in the center of her own patriotic setup, Jade stood tall, her expression unbothered and her presence commanding. She didn't speak a single word. She didn't need to. Her actions were louder than any promo could ever be. As Jade began making her way back up the ramp, something unexpected and undeniably poetic happened. The pyro that Chelsea had planned for her own celebration finally ignited, bursting into the air behind Jade. Instead of crowning Chelsea, it became the backdrop for Jade's moment, illuminating her silhouette like she was the rightful star of the entire show. Chelsea's ceremony, hijacked and destroyed, in a twist that felt almost cinematic, the celebration designed to elevate Chelsea ended up framing Jade as the undeniable powerhouse of the division. Chelsea's flags, her speeches, her fireworks, and her ego, all of it was turned into debris by one woman who didn't need speeches, symbols, or a parade to make her point. Jade's message was delivered through pure action. And while Chelsea's night was left in ruins, the audience witnessed a moment that will be replayed and remembered. A celebration torched by confidence, hijacked by dominance, and destroyed by the simple, silent authority of a true champion. A night redefined. What began as a grand proclamation of Chelsea Green's era transformed into a shocking reminder of how quickly power shifts in WWE. One entrance, one attack, and one perfectly timed pyro explosion changed the entire narrative of the night. Chelsea had arrived expecting applause, adoration, and fireworks in her honor. Instead, Jade Cargill walked away with the spotlight, the momentum, and the unquestionable aura of supremacy. It proved that sometimes the most powerful moments in wrestling aren't spoken. They're delivered in silence, in strength, and in impact.